And a good afternoon from Brunswick Community College. Today on YouTube, Dolphins basketball as they open the second semester, taking on Johnston Community College. The Jaguars coming in at 2-10, 1-6 on the road. Your Dolphins at 12-2 on the season and 7-1 here at home. Today's game brought to you by Port Solutions LLC, and we thank them for their support. Hi again, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's meet the starting lineups for both of these teams. First for Hollis Creasy in his first season with the Jaguars and Johnston Community College, starting number 10, Khalil Mitchell, number 11, Kayvon Ward, number 15, Tyler Hines, number 30, Jonathan Pearsall, and number 55, Adam Tucker. Starting today for Walter Shaw's Dolphins in his 19th season, Coach Shaw for Brunswick starting. It's a little bit different to start the second semester. Number 1, Freddie Taylor. Number 5, Tyrese Cheek. Number 15, Mike Melvin. Number 21, Josh Woodard. And number 34, Daquan Lockamy. As both teams get set to take the court, Johnston, as I mentioned, at 2-10. Their lone wins, one came via a forfeit against Wake Tech, and then they won 90-86 against Vance Granville on December 8th. Meanwhile, the first semester for the Dolphins, you couldn't ask for much better start to the season for Brunswick. They went 3-0 in the Holiday Classic for the first time ever. 43 steals and 48% shooting in the 3 games against Howard, Chattanooga State, and Bryan and Stratton. The lone first-half losses for Brunswick were against some pretty good teams. Sandhills is 11-4. Georgia Highlands, always a power in Division I, at 11-2. And even those games were relatively competitive. At least the Sandhills game came down to the wire. So Brunswick looking to stay hot as they open up the 2019 portion of their campaign. Again, Walter Shaw with a different look this starting lineup. You got Freddie Taylor, Tyrese Cheek, and Mike Melvin all in the backcourt. They combined for around 11 assists as a trio per game. Mike Melvin looking for a shot there, can't get it to go. So a lot of sophomores. And I'm glad to see Josh Woodard getting some starting minutes here this afternoon as well. Like to see him get it going a little bit more. Daquan Lockamy had a good showing at the Holiday Classic. Here is Josh Woodard to the bucket. Can't bank it in. And Brunswick starts 0 for 2. That was the rebound for Pearsall. Floater by Mitchell for Johnston. Can't get it to go. Pearsall the rebound. Put back no, and he's tied up. Jump ball possession arrow will keep it on this side of the court. So the Dolphins at 12-2. They've lost just one game here at home. That was the Georgia Highlands game during the Cape Fear Classic back in the middle of November. Mitchell inbound it. The double team on Ward in the corner. They back it out to him. Now Mitchell will set up the offense against the Brunswick zone. This is Tucker on the right side. Open look for Ward. Deep three, can't get it to go. Tucker, good positioning for the offensive rebound, but he threw it away. Taylor, nice bounce past the Cheek. Cheek glides in for the easy 2, and Brunswick strikes first. These two teams meeting for the second time this season. It was Brunswick 98, Johnston 72 on November 26th. In that game, Brunswick outshot the Jags 54% to 33%. Brunswick had a season-high 30 assists in that game on 38 field goal makes. Silas Love had 29 and 13 on 11 of 13 shooting. Lamberth had 13. Newkirk had 12. For Johnston, Adam Tucker had 16 on 5 of 12 shooting. Hines with 15. Mitchell with 13. Defender falls down. Mike Melvin for 3. No. Josh Woodard tries to tip it up, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Jaguars. The Dolphins also beat Johnston last year 2 times, 96-74 on the road and 112-85 here at home. And the Dolphins now leading at 4-0. So it's certainly a winnable game for Brunswick, but you don't want to lose focus. This new look starting lineup for Walter Shaw, getting some other guys some opportunities to see what they can do out of the gate rather than coming off the bench. Freddie Taylor is hounding Mitchell. Mitchell to the bucket. Can't get it to go. Poor shooting at the start for the Jaguars. They're hustling, though. Look at that. Lockamy tried to come up with the rebound. 3 guys all around him. Pearsall came up with the steal. Mitchell, pass deflected. Melvin tries to save it, but he's going to save it to the Jaguars. Ward will set it up. It looks like they reset the shot clock there. So fresh 30, although it probably shouldn't have been. Ward on the right wing, and Daquan Lockamy away from the ball is going to be called with a bump. So both teams with a team foul here in the first 2.5 minutes. Khalil Mitchell will inbound it. Nearly 9 points a game for Mitchell, the first-year player from Maxton, North Carolina. Johnston Community College from Johnston County, North Carolina. Very rural area, a little bit outside of the Wilmington area. Maybe a little bit closer to Fayetteville if you're looking at the map. Ward, strong move, too strong off the glass. Lockamy the rebound, nobody back on defense, and Taylor lays it up and in. Full court press. The Dolphins so good at taking the ball away. We've seen 3 or 4 steals already here today. This is the 9th best Division I team in steals. Brunswick at 13.1 per game. Stingy defense has been the key to the start. There's another steal. Josh Woodard comes up with it. Bounce passes a little bit off, and it's taken right back. Ward tries to save it. Melvin's got a steal. It's the first game of the second semester. Mike Melvin, the alley-oop to Cheek, who shows off the athletic ability, and it's 8-0 for the Dolphins. So things are a little sketchy right now in terms of flow to the game. Again, both of these teams have been off for a couple of weeks. That's going to be a kick ball. Cheek almost had another steal after the highlight play. How about Tyrese Cheek in his last 6 games? 16.3 points per game. He's raised the scoring average up to 14 a game. Second best on the team in points per game to Silas Love, who is 9th in Division I at 24 points per game. Just a little under 4 minutes in. Jaguars keeping the basketball, trying to get on the board here. Tucker had a good game in the first meeting. He's got the ball now over to Ward. Back to Tucker, thought about it. Tucker swings it left side, this time to Mitchell. Mitchell's pass deflected, taken away by Melvin. Nice extra pass. Taylor to Cheek, and Cheek lays it up and in. Timeout by the Jaguars. A rough start for them. Good start for the Dolphins. They lead it now 10-0. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll be back with you on Wednesday, January 9th. This upcoming Wednesday, the Dolphins in Central Carolina. You can join us on YouTube for all the action. January 9th at 7 p.m. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Happy New Year once again. Hope you had a great Christmas holiday and an even better New Year. Hopefully the start to 2019 is going well for you. Couple of subs for Johnston as they look to get on the board. Double dribble is the call there. Number 31 is Greg Orr. He's in the game. Number 23 is Rashad Potts for Hollis Creasy's team, former assistant at St. Augustine, a CIAA school Division II school. No changes for Walter Shaw. Here's Cheek. Woodard from the elbow. Yes. Josh Woodard came in averaging just 2.4 points per game. He's better than that, though, folks, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do here this afternoon. First bucket for Josh. Potts, open look. Hines can't get it to go. Tyler Hines, 11.8 points per game, missing his first shot. Cheek to Lockamy, no defense again. Lockamy, yes, and the foul. And on the opening day of the NFL playoffs, we've got a football score right now, 14-0 for Brunswick. Lockamy 1 out of 4 from the charity stripe in the first semester. Daquan Lockamy hit his first three-pointer of his collegiate career during the Brunswick Holiday Classic. A shot I was sure was going to get him benched, and then he made it. 15-0 as he completes the three-point play. Again, that trapping press for Brunswick is on. 6 games with at least 14 steals for the Dolphins. 14 steals a game and wins, 7 steals per game in their 2 losses. And they have been active defensively here again. Both teams with 2 team fouls as Freddie Taylor called for the reach there. So Mitchell to inbound it. Orr thought about it. Pass in the corner to Potts. Now back to Orr. Swings it to Ward. Passing it around the perimeter. Mitchell for 3 off the back iron. Lockamy makes sure it's another one and done. Cheek throws it ahead to Taylor. Taylor, the mid-range. Around the world, no. Rebound controlled by Hines. Again, some trapping pressure here for Brunswick. This is Ward on the right. Orr, same spot. Right block, Hines spinning and scoring over Lockamy. A nice post move and good footwork by Tyler Hines. Shoots 46% from the field. His first bucket here today. He's a double-double guy, 11.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds. Mike Melvin right to the rim. The defense is absent today for the Jaguars. 17-2 Brunswick. So I mentioned out of the timeout, Wednesday the Dolphins taking on Central Carolina. One of the last tune-ups before Region 10 D1 play starts up. It'll start up at USC Salkehatchie 1 week from today. So region play will get cooking. Driving is Mitchell. He's tied up, and Mike Melvin is going to get a possession for his team. 5 new players. Damon Osborne Harvey, number 4. Number 11 is Weston Edwards. Number 2 is Zach Newkirk. Who else am I missing? Number 13 is Adrian Scarborough. Number 14 is Brandon Lamberth. 5 new bodies for Walter Shaw. Good effort by the starting 5 today for Brunswick. 15-point cushion for the second unit. Scarborough, now Newkirk. Newkirk driving and called for the offensive foul. That little arm bar there is what officials on all levels of basketball are starting to clamp down on. You extend it, and it's going to be an offensive foul just about every time, or at least every time the official sees it. Hines in the corner. Hines with the hand in his face and air ball. Good box out. Osborne Harvey comes up with it. He'll push around 2 defenders, splits the defense, and he'll go to the line. Damon Osborne Harvey, the freshman from Charlotte, 4 points per game, nearly 4.5. 43% free throw shooter on the season. Bangs through the first one. Brunswick's lead is 16. So the Dolphins, a member of Region 10 in Division 1. Johnston, a member of Region 10, Division 3. And Brunswick leads by 17, so not a region game. Trapping pressure being shown here into the forecourt Pearsall. Hines traveled with the basketball. Walter Shaw told me before the game to make my 2019 New Year's resolution to tell you all that just because Brunswick is a Division I school doesn't mean they're on the par or have the resources and the capabilities of some of the bigger D1 schools. Quick trigger by Edwards, can't get it to go, as Scarborough puts it back up and in. Brunswick is actually the smallest of any North Carolina community college. They are the smallest to offer athletics of anybody, including Johnston. So there you go. That's my New Year's resolution. I think I might have been overselling it a little bit. 4-team fouls now on Brunswick as Osborne Harvey picks up his first. And at the line, Jonathan Pearsall, 65% free throw shooter, gets his first one to go. Adam Tucker checking back in, number 55, replacing Khalil Mitchell, number 10, for the Jaguars. So if you're Division I, you typically hear me say that's schools that offer athletic scholarships. Walter Shaw wanted me to change that wording a little bit to say they can offer athletic scholarships. Brunswick does not have the resources to do that. As Newkirk drives to the bucket, he's going to the line. Both teams with 4 team fouls now. So in terms of athletic scholarship competition, these two teams are even. And I did say this in the first semester during our first broadcast, that Walter Shaw does more with less than any collegiate coach that I've ever known in now 17 years of broadcasting. I have never seen a school like this, first of all, wouldn't have athletics most likely if it wasn't for the hustle of Walter Shaw and what he does to raise money and the talent he's able to recruit as well. Edwards, that's a mid-range shot. Got it to go off the turnover. 25-4. We'll continue that conversation a little bit later in the broadcast. Right now, Brunswick is just pouring it on. That rocket pass deflected by Edwards, taken away by Lamberth. In the corner, it's Osborne Harvey. Step back three, it's good. And it's all Dolphins. Damon Osborne Harvey came in 20% three-point shooter. Money on that one, though. Mitchell to the bucket, floats it up short. 1 field goal and 2 free throws. That's it. Osborne Harvey again. Yes. Now it's a steal. A steal by Scarborough. What a pass by Edwards. Osborne Harvey with 8 points in about 15 seconds. My goodness. Honey, I'll be home early today. 33-4. Get the running clock going. I expected a blowout. And we haven't seen Silas Love. I don't even know if he's going to play today. He was warming up. Alex Moore comes into the game, replacing Osborne Harvey, who's padding his stats in the last 30 seconds. 2 3-pointers and a point-blank bucket. Mitchell up top. This is Ward on the left. Can the Jaguars get a field goal? Ward the step-back 3. It's just not happening here today. Lamberth now to Newkirk. Newkirk over to Moore. Moore takes it to the corner. Back to Newkirk. Good ball movement. Ooh, that's going to be an offensive foul. Yeah, Lamberth thought he got away with it, but the near side official was there to make the call. And it's the right one. So 16 fouls now on the Dolphins. That's some good news for the Jaguars. Maybe they could get to the free throw line. 1 field goal here in this first half so far, and we're just about at the midway point. That is not a mistake. If you're just joining us, 33-4 is the correct score. 5 team fouls now. on Johnston, 7 now on Brunswick on that foul called. So the Jaguars in the 1-1 here. So the Dolphins with the home game on Wednesday. We'll have that one for you at 7 p.m. as first free throw up and good for Greg Orr. Shoots them at 75%. And then the Dolphins go road tripping on Saturday. Next Saturday at 3 p.m. they're at USC Salkehatchie. And they're always a sleeper in region play. A good program down there. Newkirk, here's Edwards. Edwards around the world. Moore, catch and shoot 3. Got it. 36-5. You can't ask for a better start than this. They've allowed 1 field goal. Dolphins defense has been so impressive here this season. Baseline shot. Hines can't get it. Scarborough, the rebound. Brunswick's going to play 4 on 5 here. Weston Edwards is tying his shoe. Moore tried to make sure the bank was open on a Saturday. Couldn't get it. Scarborough fights for it, and he rewards himself with a bucket. Excellent hustle play there. Mitchell for 3. In and out. Lamberth bounce pass to Newkirk. Running and gunning the Dolphins. Newkirk rejected. Lamberth stays with it and scores. Johnston got the block, and I believe it was Hines down low who got the block, and then he started talking rather than going to get the ball, and that's why that bucket happened for Brunswick. 3-pointer in and out for Mitchell. It's 40-5. Newkirk splits the defense, throws it down with a 2-hand jam, and the Jaguars are frustrated. A 37-point advantage for Brunswick. Brunswick allowed 72 points to the Jaguars in their first meeting. But right now, the shots just are not there. I have to ask Walter Shaw. Maybe I can track him down at halftime. As Ward able to get the 3, just the second field goal for the Jaguars here in the half. I'm just curious if they've done a lot of practicing and if everybody stayed together or at least came back. Usually everybody goes home for the semester, but this team looks like a well-oiled machine here today. Certainly doesn't look like a team that's had 2 weeks off. Weston Edwards buries the triple. I know he's got family here and he's got grandparents who are probably watching me back at the house, so let's hear some clapping for that 3-pointer back at Grandma and Grandpa's house. 3-pointer off the mark for Ward. Here come the Dolphins. Scarborough. Nice move. Moore in the corner. Top of the key, it's Newkirk for 3. Off the back iron. Board by Pearsall. Taken back by Scarborough, but he was out of bounds. First appearance for Silas Love, number 24 for the Dolphins. Returning is Josh Woodard. Also coming back into the game is Freddie Taylor, Mike Melvin. They join Alex Moore out on the court. A couple of subs in as well for Johnston. Hidante Thorpe, number 1 for the Jaguars. And number 23, Rashad Potts, back out there. Thorpe on the right to the cutter. Potts. Set out to Hines. Floater by Thorpe. Goes in and out. That's the kind of day it's been. Freddie Taylor strips it away. Taylor turns on the Jets. Look at the athletics. Such athleticism from Freddie Taylor as he goes right to the hoop. Freddie Taylor had a coming out party against Chattanooga State. Had a season high 14 points in the Brunswick Holiday Classic game. Was not shooting well. He turns it over there, but overall he's picked it up. This Brunswick team is locked and loaded. We haven't even talked about Silas Love. I mentioned he's 9th in Division I in scoring at 24 points per game. They haven't needed him today. Shot clock at 8, and Johnston throws it out of bounds. So the ball will go back to the Dolphins. Silas Love also leads Division I and all of JUCO hoops with 74 offensive rebounds. So he can really crash the glass, not just the scorer. Taylor on the left, alley-oop. Love was out of bounds, and that pass might have been just a bit off for him. (47-8). All Dolphins here this afternoon. Inside 6 minutes to go in this first half. We'll take our usual 15-minute halftime break. I got to catch up on my Cleveland State Vikings and see how they did today. You guys can catch up on some college hoops of your own. As Hines with the strong move on the post. Hines with 4 of Johnston's 10. Melvin into the forecourt. Mike Melvin, 9.9 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Good stat line so far this year as he looks to get the mid-range shot, and he does. Mike Melvin's going to make some team very, very, very lucky. He is a steal. He's the kind of guy that I would absolutely want to have on my team. Look at that pass. Good defense by Ward. So he might have forced it that time. Now Freddie Taylor takes it away. Alley-oop. Silas Love, throw it down, big man. Brunswick past the century mark with still 5 minutes to go in this first half. Into the forecourt, Mitchell for the Jaguars. Hines underneath Potts. Yes. Melvin will slow it down now off the make. Mike Melvin had 16 assists, 6 steals, and 29 points in the 3 games in the Holiday Classic. His assist-to-turnover ratio this season, 2.3. Moore getting extended minutes. Made 1 3-pointer. He's 1 for 3 overall from behind the arc. Here's Ward from downtown, too strong. Offensive rebound by Thorpe, and then he throws it out of bounds. Adam Tucker coming back in for the Jaguars. This is a Johnston team that's a 91st out of 104 Division III teams in points per game. They average just 69. They're 97th in shooting, and they're 101st in turnovers per game, 97th in points allowed. And that's why they're at 2-10 this year. Again, one of those, Silas Love is all alone. Can't get the bucket, he was so open. Moore for 3, kind of an awkward spot to shoot it, right over near the corner, hit the side of the backboard, and it's Jaguars with the basketball. Potts top of the key. Thorpe for 3. Short. Melvin the rebound. Taylor is out. Melvin takes it himself and right around the defense. Mike Melvin with another 2. Nearing 3 minutes to go here in an entertaining first half if you're a Brunswick fan. Tucker on the right. Ward up top. Potts. Bounce pass to the cutter. And that's Hines swinging it back out to Ward. 10 to shoot. Here's Potts. The reverse. Nice play there. Rashad Potts coming off the bench. 41% field goal shooter, averaging just under 4 points per game. 53-14. Woodard top of the key. Here's Melvin on the right. Melvin, mid-range shot. Bang, it's good again. That was not bad defense from Tucker. Melvin found just enough space to get the shot up, and he's rolling. I think he has Brunswick's last 6. Nice pass by Hines. It's swung out. Thorpe. It's a two-pointer. Foot was on the line. Good to see the Jaguars starting to click a little bit better offensively here, though. They had one field goal in the first 10 minutes of this game. Taylor, Silas Love tried to get the offensive rebound. Good boxing out by the Jaguars. Here comes Johnston now, nearing 90 seconds to play in this opening half. Tucker's pass deflected by Taylor, and a little bit of a late whistle there. Talked about all the steals this season for Brunswick. They are 11th with just under 23 assists per ball game. 20-plus assists in 12 of their 14 games. 17 assists in each of their 2 losses. So that tells you they hit that 20-assist mark, they're probably going to win. As the first free throw by Potts is good. 59% free throw shooter. Potts good on the second one as well. There's a lot of optimism here at Brunswick Community College. Dr. Gene Smith, the new Brunswick president, started at the first of the year. And welcome aboard, Dr. Smith, according to Walter Shaw. Dr. Smith has been to a couple practices, checked out the women's game. Would have been here today. We're going to try to get Dr. Smith to come up and do an interview during one of the games this season during the broadcast. 6 on the shot clock. More drives right around the defense. Defense should be used in quotations here in this first half because that's just way too easy for Alex Moore. 57-18, all Brunswick. It's been all Brunswick from the opening tip. Potts driving, cut off, swings it out. Ward the 3, short on it. Offensive rebound by Pearsall. Ward to the bucket, can't get it to go. The tipped rebound comes to Freddie Taylor. About 11-second difference between game and shot clock here, so Brunswick will run some clock. Dolphins on pace for 114 points, 57 here near the end of this first half. Mike Melvin, the scoop, can't get it to go, saves it to Moore. Shot clock is off. Josh Woodard for 3, can't get it. Mike Melvin flies in, scores, and the foul. In limited minutes, Damon Osborne Harvey put on a show, but Mike Melvin is the man of the first half. 69% free throw shooter will try to complete an old school three-point play with 5 seconds left in this opening half. Melvin, by the time today's done, might be in double figures in points per game. He's at 9.9, as I mentioned earlier, coming in. Completes the old school three-point play. Brunswick with 60 on the board here in this opening half. They throw it away. Josh Woodard will throw it up, come up short, and the first half comes to an end. 60-18 in favor of Brunswick at the half. And one of the most dominating first half performances for Brunswick and maybe in program history. We will take a break. We'll take our normal 15-minute break, come back, bring you the second half and first half stats. It's all Dolphins here at the half. Don't go too far. We're coming back. Welcome back to Dolphins basketball here on YouTube. Today's game brought to you by our friends at Port Solutions LLC, and we thank them for their support. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year indeed if you're a Brunswick Dolphin. 60-18 in the first half for the Dolphins. The Dolphins' season high in points this year is 108. They scored that against West Oaks back in the middle of November here at home. They have scored 120 or more 15 times in program history. They're on pace to do that here today, although we'll see if they take the wheels off or take the foot off the gas here a little bit in this second half. It'll be Jaguars with the basketball to start things off here in the second half. Same starting lineup for them. Number 55 is Adam Tucker, 10 Khalil Mitchell, 11 is Kevin Ward, number 15 is Hines, and number 30 is Jonathan Pearsall. Open look for Ward for three. Can't get it to go. Cold shooting for the Jaguars. A lot of turnovers. Good defense by the Dolphins have propelled them out to a big lead. Different look in the starting lineup here in the second half for Walter Shaw's team. Cheek for three. Can't get it to go. Daquan Lockamy bats it out. Trying to get it was Lamberth. So it's Brandon Lamberth, Weston Edwards, Ty Cheek, Daquan Lockamy, and Zach Newkirk. That's the starting five for the second half for Walter Shaw's team. Brunswick comes in 12-2, 7-1 here at home. Johnston just 2-10 and 1-6 on the road. Tucker throws it out of bounds, and one of the teams that commits the most turnovers in JUCO basketball has turned it over with great regularity here this afternoon. Newkirk, Daquan Lockamy was all alone, had trouble with the pass though, and it's a steal by Hines. Kicks it ahead to Ward for three. Can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Hines comes up with it. Getting over for Tucker. Tucker for three with the hand in his face. He got it to go. Johnston, if you're just joining us, had one field goal in the first 10 minutes of this game. Starting to pick it up a little bit. Lamberth lost it. Gets it out to Cheek. Cheek driving in. Here's Daquan Lockamy, double team. The hook, yes. Lockamy, a 50% shooter from the field. Puts Brunswick on the board for the first time here in this second half. First game of the second semester for both of these teams. Brunswick has another home game coming up on Wednesday. A tie up there, and the ball goes back to the Dolphins. Brunswick will take on Central Carolina at 7 p.m. We'll have that for you here on YouTube. 4 broadcasts, including this game in January, then 4 in February before we wrap up our coverage. Newkirk into the forecourt. Lamberth, top of the key, drives in, and a blocking foul is called on the Jaguars. Pearsall tried to take the charge, but they say he committed the foul. It's the first on Johnston, first on anybody here in the second half. Lamberth, 48% free throw shooter at the line. Good on the first one. So 1 out of 2 for Lamberth. Brandon, 7.6 points per game. The freshman from Greensboro. Driving to the bucket, Mitchell, no defense that time, and the putback by Hines. Edwards brings it into the forecourt. Newkirk over to Cheek on the left. Lockamy gets it out. Edwards, quick fire, and the sharpshooter buries his second three of the game. First half scoring was led by Mike Melvin. He had 11. Damon Osborne Harvey had 10 points. Daquan Lockamy now up to 7 points. Weston Edwards has 8 points. Freddie Taylor with 4. Zach Newkirk with 4. Ty Cheek has 6. Scarborough with 4. Lamberth now with 3 in the game. Everybody who played in the first half scored. 2 points apiece for Josh Woodard and Silas Love. Alex Moore came off the bench to score 5 as well. So everybody's gotten to eat here this afternoon. First game of the second semester. Newkirk from the elbow, off the back of rebound controlled now by Hines, and a foul is going to be called on Cheek. First foul of the second half for Brunswick. Started talking about this in the first half, and with the score plus 43 for Brunswick, always a good time to continue a conversation about the Dolphins compete, as do Johnston in Region 10, but Johnston is a Division III school. That means they are not allowed to offer athletic scholarships, and Brunswick is a Division I school, and they can, although Walter Shaw pointed out to me today that they don't. They don't have the resources. So much of what Coach Shaw has to do just to field a team is dependent on other people, and he's really got to hustle. And if you've ever had to ask people for things, for money or for food or for anything, you know how difficult that can be. And that's how Walter Shaw puts on his program every year. In North Carolina, the community colleges are funded based on their size. Brunswick is the smallest of any D1, D2, or D3. That's just a topic of conversation for me. Brunswick is the smallest of all of those, no matter what level of competition they play at here in the state of North Carolina, to field athletic programs. All the teams have to hustle. It's not just Walter Shaw's team. The uniforms, for example, that the players are wearing are donated by alumni, as you see the offensive foul there. That'll be the second team foul on Johnston. So the Dolphins play in Division I and can offer scholarships, athletic scholarships, but they do not. And that tells you something about Walter Shaw and how he's been able to recruit. Edwards, yes, again, he is in rhythm, and he's fun to watch when he's in rhythm. 71-24. Second three-pointer for Weston here in this second half. Nice aggressive play by Kayvon Ward to get the bucket for the Jaguars. Daquan Lockamy is going to be fouled. He'll go to the line. I started broadcasting at Cleveland State University, a Division I school, in 2001 when I was a student there. And back then, I had no idea that stuff like this really even existed. When you're in the D1 world, that's really all you think about. There has been some fantastic... I've worked on every level, D1, D2, D3. I've worked in the USCAA, the NAIA, the ACCA, and the NCCAA. You can look all those up if you don't know what I'm talking about. So I've worked at literally every level of college athletics, and Walter Shaw does more with little than anybody I've ever met. And there's a lot of schools that I've met who have very little. 1 out of 2 at the line for Lockamy. Brunswick up big here in this second half. They have cruised in this game from the opening tip. Lamberth with the rebound. And the results, one of the reasons you say, well, Chris, why doesn't all the good players, why doesn't Silas Love just go to Wake Tech or go to Cape Fear or go to these other places that have more resources and probably more money to give to a player like Silas Love, player like Mike Melvin, player like Cheek, player like Newkirk, and on and on and on. They come for Walter Shaw, and they come for the results. I mentioned it last semester during one of the early season broadcasts that Walter Shaw has sent 21 players since 2010 to Division I schools. That's not counting Division II, NAIAs, anything like that. That's just D1 players. So that is why people come to Brunswick. They want to go to four-year schools. Looks like we're going to see a new 5 come in. Silas Love, number 24, checks into the game. Adrian Scarborough, number 13. Number 1 is Freddie Taylor. Number 15 is Mike Melvin. And number 4 is Damon Osborne Harvey. Osborne Harvey didn't play a lot of minutes in the first half, but he has 10 points. And he scored 8 of them in about a 15-second span. Bad rebounding on the missed free throw, and Hines with an open lane to the bucket. 72-28 now. There's Taylor on the far side of your screen. Osborne Harvey between the circles. He's left alone. He squares up. Can't get the 3 to go. Scarborough tried to tip it to himself, but it goes out of bounds. Sub for the Jaguars, Rashad Potts coming into the game for Jonathan Pearsall. Into the forecourt is Ward for the Jaguars. Ward takes it up top, splits the defense, had it stripped. Melvin with the steal. Here comes Love with the one-hand slam. Silas Love with 4. Averages 24 a game. They haven't needed him as much here today. Mentioned in the first half, Silas Love, 9th in scoring at 24 points per game in Division I. He's 21st in shooting at 68%. And he's got the most offensive rebounds of any JUCO player with 74. He's also 16th in rebounding. And the alley-oop, Scarborough puts it in. So Silas Love averages a double-double with 24 a game and 10.3 rebounds. And again, that's 16th best in Division I. Good all-around player. Baseline jumper and a nice one by Mitchell for the Jaguars. Just about 7 minutes into this second half. Brunswick not letting up. Osborne Harvey stays hot. He's got 12. The most points in a game for Brunswick, by the way, is 133. They did that back in 2000 against Sampson. The most points scored in the last 10 years was in 2016. Brunswick scored 125 against Stillwater Prep. That was on November 6, 2016. Hines with another easy bucket. It's all an opportunity to gear up for Region 10 play. Brunswick, you'll remember, last year had that fast start to the season, and then they could not win a Region game when it counted. 14 fouls on Johnston Community College, 3 on BCC, with 12:41 left to go here in the game. Here's Taylor, top of the key. Saw his athleticism on display in the first half. Couple of nifty drives to the bucket. Drives in there, gets cut off. Mike Melvin with 5 to shoot, fires the 3 off the back iron. Mitchell, the one-arm rebound. Mitchell into the forecourt for Johnston. Johnston comes home on Tuesday, first game of the semester at home against Cape Fear. Pass to Potts. Potts fouled by Harvey, and he'll go to the line. Then the Jaguars will take on Central Carolina Saturday at 3. I mentioned Central Carolina comes here on Wednesday to take on the Dolphins. We'll have that one for you on YouTube at 7. And then the Dolphins go road tripping. They're at USC Salkehatchie next Saturday to open up Region 10 play. Newcomer into Region 10, Division 1 is Richard Bland. They were D2 last year. They replaced Clinton. Clinton over in the Charlotte area in Rock Hill, South Carolina, left the NJCAA for the USCAA. And when you're a small, struggling school, the USCAA is a good place where you can stay competitive. Oh, Osborne Harvey, yes, and the foul. What a play. These two teams meeting for the second time this season. Brunswick won on November 26th, 98-72 on the road. Brunswick outshot the Jags 54% to 33%. Osborne Harvey now with 14 in the game. He leads all scorers. Chance to make it 15 here in the old school three-point play. Missed it. 5 team fouls on the Jaguars, 4 on the Dolphins. Potts drives in and a bump. So both teams will have 5 team fouls. Brunswick also looking to win their 4th straight game. Hines had it stripped. Melvin throws it ahead. Love scoops it. Extra pass. Taylor gets it to Osborne Harvey, and he's going to go back to the line for another 3-point opportunity. Sixteen fouls now on the Jaguars with 11:36 left to go in the game. And again, the free throw is missed and another foul is called. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. We've got 3 more games after this one here in January and 4 more in February to bring you before I hit the road. Second year covering the Dolphins, and last year they had some incredible talent. Nice reverse there by Potts. But it didn't look like they were a complete team last year, and this year it does look like that. Taylor, the tip pass to Osborne Harvey. Wide open lane. The C's part for Damon Osborne Harvey, who's now up to 16 points, leading all scorers. Driving Ward, blocked. Love takes it away. Throw ahead to Osborne Harvey. You know that's going in. Damon, 18 points now. Potts driving, floats it up. No, tip up by Hines, no good. Scarborough, the rebound, throw ahead. Nice scoop. And Silas Love throws it down with the 2-hand jam. Unselfish play there for Damon. Driving in is Orr, and he's fouled. Team foul number 7 on Brunswick, so Greg Orr will go to the line. 75% free throw shooter. He'll have a 1-and-1 here. Both teams will be in the bonus for the second half of this second half. Mentioned everything about the program and Brunswick and all the struggles, and I don't want to be a doom and gloom kind of person. I know Coach Shaw said that he's real impressed already with what he's seen from Brunswick. They've got a new president. We'll talk more about that here in just a moment. 10-11 left to go. All Dolphins by 51. We'll be back. 10-11 left to go. Brunswick by 51. They have dominated this basketball game. Chris Sheeman, happy to be back with you. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good break, good holiday. I had a lot of fun doing nothing for 2 straight weeks. Mike Melvin back into the game. Melvin tries to put it in short. It's tipped up a couple of times. Scarborough able to get it through the net. Brunswick with 90 on the board. I mentioned their season high this year, 108 points. There's a steal by Love. Love the reverse. Putting on a show. Silas Love, who has not been needed as much here today. He will be needed starting next Saturday, though. Foul called on Brunswick. They're up to 8 now. And Greg Orbeck at the line for another 1-1. Brunswick last year at home beat the Jaguars 112-85. 112 is certainly a possibility here, if not more than that, for the Dolphins. Johnston would have to put on some kind of a display to get to 85. They're working, though. They're still working underneath, fighting. That was a good aggressive play by Pearsall on the second effort. Taylor takes it to the corner, gets a screen from Scarborough. Cut off. Osborne Harvey on the left. Here's Scarborough. Top of the key, Taylor for 3. No, Osborne Harvey is all alone underneath. Where was the rebounding for the Jaguars there? So you see Hollis Creasy, the coach. It's Adam Tucker off the bench. Silas Love, another steal. Silas Love short on the bucket. Into the forecourt, Thorpe. To the Cutter Potts, extra pass, nicely done. Pearsall can't get the bucket, though. Osborne Harvey the rebound. Scarborough out to Love. Love looking to drive in. Back out to Scarborough, to the Cutter. Melvin, yes, and the foul. Just how Mike Melvin drew it up. Mike Melvin with 13 in the game. More subs coming in. Alex Moore, number 30. Josh Woodard, number 21. Newkirk, number 2. And Cheek, number 5. And it looks like Lamberth will come in for Melvin if he makes this free throw. He does. And here comes Lamberth. So it's safe to say with 8:10 left to go, even if they hold the ball on every possession, that the Dolphins will get past the 108-point mark, which is their season high. Mitchell turns on the Jets, runs into a wall, and it's another steal for the Dolphins. Newkirk out to Woodard. Lamberth from the free throw stripe swishes it through. 99-40. And they call Lamberth on a technical foul. Okay, so Adam Tucker will get a couple of free throws. That's the second foul on Lamberth, 9th team foul on the Dolphins, and in a 59-point game, the officials want to make sure that things don't get chippy. Although the official seems to be laughing about it with the players. I couldn't hear what they said down there, but it might have been a mistake. I don't know. So Jaguars with the basketball. Into the forecourt, it's Mitchell. Top of the key, Potts. Thorpe on the near side of your screen. Thorpe gets a screen from the half circle. The bucket off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by Woodard. Newkirk. Here's Cheek in the forecourt. Cheek had a hot start to the game. They haven't relied on him as much. Lamberth over a sea of defenders gets it to go, and the Dolphins have broken the century mark, and the lead grows to 60. Get a running clock in college basketball, please. Thorpe for three, can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Pearsall comes up with it. Good hustle play again. Second time here in the last few minutes for Pearsall. Newkirk, he'll back it out. Cheek to the cutter, Woodard. Josh on the reverse, too strong. Lamberth tried to tip it up. He was too strong as well. Mitchell the board. Here come the Jags. Mitchell, nice scoop underneath Pearsall. Yes. Silas Love has scored in double figures in every game. I'm not sure if he's there here in this one. His day is likely done. Newkirk to the bucket, got it to go. Just the wait and go from the guards here today for Brunswick. The hesitation and the attack, and the Jaguars defense has left a lot to be desired. I like the hustle from Pearsall, though, especially here in the second half. He's going to go to the line. 65% free throw shooter, Pearsall. Less than 6 to play in the game. 10 team fouls on the Dolphins. So 2 free throws for Johnston no matter what the rest of the way. Brunswick in the 1-1. 7 team fouls on the Jaguars. .103.47. Newkirk into the forecourt for the Dolphins. Cheek on the right side gets a screen, lost the dribble. It's a steal by Mitchell. Mitchell scoops it up and has the easy 2. Newkirk into the forecourt. Newkirk gets it out to Moore. Moore for 3. Got another one, his second of the game. Alex Moore with 8. Brunswick 2 points away from matching their season high. That's blocked. The 3-point attempt blocked by Newkirk. Newkirk throws it away. Here's Tucker. Swings it out to Mitchell. Mitchell. Pearsall had it stripped, and they call a foul on Woodard. If you're just joining us, Brunswick has led from the opening tip. Johnston Community College had 1 field goal in the first 10 minutes of the first half. The Dolphins led 60-18 at halftime, and they have really poured it on here today. 106-50. Cheek into the forecourt. Woodard. Here is Lamberth from the charity stripe. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Tucker. Inside 5 minutes to go in the game. Tucker to the bucket. Throws it up. No. Tip for the rebound. Woodard comes up with it. Josh Woodard throws it ahead to Cheek. Cheek, step back 3. And he might have been better off getting it to the cutter, Lamberth, underneath. But can't really fault Brunswick for anything here today. Turnaround shot by Potts, no good. Pearsall, another good job cleaning it up underneath. Newkirk into the forecourt. Cheek on the left. Cheek Cutter Lamberth. Lamberth goes glass. A little bit too strong that time. Nice job by Potts to keep the dribble as he fell down. That is going to be kicked. Bounce pass by Mitchell. Kicked by Woodard. Weston Edwards, Daquan Lockaby back in for the Dolphins. Tyler Hines coming back in for Johnston. Lamberth coming out. Cheek also coming out. Cheek looks gimpy as he hobbles off. Hopefully he'll be all right. One of the things that has helped Brunswick to this start is all the depth that they have. They had all kinds of injury problems last year. Nice cut by Thorpe. Good find. Newkirk out to Moore. Moore floats it from the baseline. Can't get it to go. Lockamy, the offensive rebound. Swings it out. Edwards triggers the triple. Can't get it to go. Josh Woodard, a rocket to Lockamy, who got mugged. And Daquan will go to the line after almost doing a somersault. 8th team foul on Johnston. .340 left to go in the game. So Brunswick will win their 4th consecutive game, improve to 13-2 overall, 8-1 here at home. One more tune-up against Central Carolina on Wednesday. I think they'll have a few out-of-region games throughout the second semester as well, but for the most part, region play starts next Saturday when the Dolphins go to USC Salkehatchie for a 3 p.m. game. Brunswick's going to get an extra possession here. Somebody's got to go inbound the ball. So Moore will go do that. So Brunswick 1 point shy of matching their season high for points in a game. 108 is the mark. Lockamy to Woodard. Woodard threw it away, but it's kicked off of Potts out of bounds. Edwards was wide open in the corner. Moore to inbound it. Woodard, mid-range shot. Yes. So this is now the most points in a game this season. 109 for the Dolphins. 109 points for Brunswick. Mitchell top of the key for the Jaguars. Johnston, before they get into D3 Region 10 play, they're going to have to figure out this defense. Nice cut by Hines, and another foul is called with 2:57 left to go. Hines, 65% free throw shooter, goes back to it. Johnston came in allowing 91.8 points per game. Out of 104 Division III teams, they are 97th in points allowed. You see the commitment that Brunswick has made defensively under Walter Shaw, consistently in the top 25 in Division I in steals per game. Newkirk into the forecourt. Weston Edwards left alone again. Buries another triple. Brunswick 112-56. Mitchell, step back. Nicely done. Khalil Mitchell averaging just under 9 points per ball game. Connecting on that. Alex Moore, top of the key, looking underneath for Lockamy. Lockamy swings it back to Alex. Alex for three. Not that time. Rebound controlled by Hines. Inside 2 minutes to go. Thorpe, extra pass. Open baseline shot by Pearsall. Can't get it. Newkirk turns on the Jets. Here's Lockamy. Yes. Brunswick is 5 points away from entering the record books. The most points in a game, 119, would be 9th best all time. Tied for 9th best. They did that 2 times, 119 points in 2001 and also last year against Central Carolina. They're at 114 right now, and they might not get there because they will likely run some clock here. Weston Edwards not shy, and forget what I said. Dolphins are a field goal away after that made three-pointer from Edwards. 117-58. Potts, the mid-range. Nice rainbow shot to get it over the outstretched Woodard. So the Dolphins with one more shot attempt here today. Weston Edwards scoops it up, no, and that's going to go out of bounds back to Johnston. So it looks like the Dolphins will fall just shy of the record books here today, but this is an impressive win. Johnston Jaguars falling to 2-11 and 1-7 here on the road today. And for Brunswick, they will improve now to 13-2 and go to 8-1 here at home after these free throws are taken. Josh Woodard, ball deflected, and it's taken away by Hines. And this is what you want to see if you're Coach Creasy. You want to see your guys competing to the end. Thorpe can't get the three. Lockamy gets the rebound, and that'll do it. So 117-60 is your final. The Dolphins now 13-2 on the year. Once again, our next broadcast is coming up on Wednesday. It will be the Dolphins taking on Central Carolina, and we'll have it for you again Wednesday at 7 p.m. Once again, your final, folks, it's Brunswick 117, Johnston 60. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your